Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you wanted to join me today because now I am finally back home and I'm not going anywhere else for a while now, which is delightful. Today's video is just going to be light and breezy, and I've gotten some questions regarding zero waste dating, so I thought I would share some stories. Both good stories and hilarious stories and slightly disappointing stories, but stories nonetheless. I know to other people it might seem extreme to be both zero waste and vegan and doing these things, and how I sort of go about it when I've been on dates would be fun to talk about. And also you guys had questions, so let's do this. I've always been in a relationship when Tinder sort of started and everything, and I was really curious about it when I became single, so I did that. I made an account when I was in London and then I brought it back home with me. But I had some really nice experiences. I've deleted the app again because I didn't really want to do anymore, and it's sort of a fun sort of game, but you become very detached to the fact that those actual people that you're talking to, or that they're talking to an actual person and such. So I did it for a while and it was nice, and I went on a few dates and this is how it went. Firstly, I think you can go on pretty much any sort of date that you want, even though you're zero waste and you're vegan, because I've brought my own glass with me. Someone asked me if I wanted to go to a park and just have a glass of wine, and I said sure, of course I want to do that. And then he brought plastic cups, which is fun. We chatted for a while before meeting up, and he asked me what I did for a living. And when I say what I do for a living, I'm not going to lie. I say I'm a sustainability lecturer. I talk about plastic-free living, zero waste, plant-based things. Just that is my job. That is what I do. And most people find it really interesting and have some sort of follow-up questions, and yeah, people generally have been very positive about it, which is nice. But if they weren't positive, I probably wouldn't have gone on a date, sorry. But he brought these plastic cups, and I just looked at these cups. I have my own cup, actually, and he looked at me slightly weird, just, what are you doing? And then it sort of hit him, oh, because of the plastic things. And yes. So yeah, no need whatsoever. And he sort of felt bad, and that is the thing that I've generally experienced, that people sort of feel bad when they use plastic, or they feel like they need to apologize when using plastic. And I'm not saying anything, I'm just doing my own thing here, but I think to some people it might seem a bit judgmental, and honestly I don't really care so much about that, because yeah, that is just how it is. And after we had this bottle of wine in the park, we went to a bar, and the bar was completely packed, and he asked me if I wanted anything, and then I said I could really go for just plain glass of water. And we were inside, so I reckoned that, oh, they use glass here. And then he brought me a plastic cup of water, and that was the first plastic cup that I've used in 3 years. And Jesus, Mother Christ, I just sort of became this completely stiff character. Thank you, and I didn't want to be unkind, I didn't want to be ungrateful or anything, so I just took it, and then I just said to him, this is the first plastic cup I've used in 3 years. And then he became the sort of stiff one, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't think about it at all. It's fine, and I didn't want to make a whole big deal out of it, also because it is just one bloody plastic cup, and I brought it home with me, and saw to that it got in the right sorting compartment and everything. But just he felt so bad, and it sort of lightened the mood that he felt so bad, because it was just one bloody cup, but it was just a huge deal for me as well, because first cup, 3 years, just woo! Also the wine bottle, after we had the wine, I didn't want it to go into landfill. I wanted to go into a recycling bin, obviously, and there weren't any recycling bins nearby. And he looked at me and said, is it important? And I said, yes. And if you do not want to carry it, I will put it in my backpack and I will take it home with me. And, and he ended up carrying it all the way down to the bar, and we walked for I think like half an hour, and asked the bartender if we could recycle the bottle in their recycling system. And he said sure, okay, why, but sure. Then I had this really nice morning yoga workout session with a really nice young man. I sounded so old right there now. This really nice young man, oh my gosh. And we did yoga and just sort of this morning workout thing, which was really a funky date as well, really weird. But yeah, he was really sweet and super nice. And we did yoga, and he asked me on the way back from, we did yoga in this park thing, and then he asked me afterwards, and so you only eat plants, right? Yes, I only eat plants. Okay, it's just you haven't mentioned it at all. And I think, oh, it's so difficult because I really didn't know what to say, but I said something like, yeah, but it's not really been relevant because we haven't been eating anything and we've been talking about other things, so it just didn't come up, and I reckon that you probably saw my Instagram account and you knew, so it wasn't really relevant. And he said, oh, he said all vegans are always very verbal about their veganism. I said, no, not at all. And I just, we had a really nice time, but I just told him that perhaps it is not the fact that vegans are always very verbal about it, but that it stands out really easily. And also, if you ask people what do they eat or what do you want to eat, it's a fair thing to say. Oh, by the way, I'm a vegan, so don't worry about me or some things. But I asked him, because he talked a lot about these, or he had this prejudice about these pushy vegans, and I asked him, have you ever met any pushy vegans? No, he had not. So where does this idea come from? Oh, it comes from the internet. Okay. But not in real life. No, okay. Just leave it at that. But it was just a nice conversation in general, and the tone was really nice and everything, but sometimes, yeah, it does come up, and honestly, it's a lot easier to be on a date with another vegan, or at least a vegetarian, and then you can sort of, you know, and it's always I'm so delighted and happy when a non-vegan is interested in veganism, because it sort of feels like, okay, there's something we can do here, there's room for improvement, and this other person can actually see that, and that's a really interesting starting point for a nice conversation and a much needed, you know, shifting mentality of food industries and whatnot. So yeah, that is really nice. And what did I want to say with this thing? Oh yeah, okay, so usually on Tinder you chat for a while and whatnot, and what people usually ask me is, what is that you do? What is it that you do? And I just tell them what I do, and you know, I give workshops and lectures about zero waste, and I've recently started giving talks apparently about veganism as well, but that is what I talk about, that is what I do. And most people, and when I say most, I mean on Tinder it was 90% of the people that I talked to were so intimidated by it that it sort of became a disadvantage of the conversation, because sometimes, shocker, I do want to talk about other things. It's not very often, but it happens. And people became very intimidated by it. So I actually, right before, a couple of weeks before I deleted my Tinder account, I deleted my job and what I did, because it was nice for a while to not have this same reaction of, oh wow, that's really impressive, but also just a little bit intimidating. I hate, with a burning passion, I hate being called intimidated, because I know it usually comes from a good place. It can also come from a place of insecurity and whatnot, but the fact that you're intimidated by me does not make me intimidating. Does that make any sense at all? Because it's just, I felt like I was being put inside this box, and whenever I talked about my job or something, people had these connotations of what I did and how I did it, and that was not at all the point. So in that case, that was really a fun thing. But I ended up deleting my Tinder account because it didn't really resonate within me anymore, so now I'm just chilling, but that's fine. But that was some of the things that happened to me on Tinder, and I hope you liked this video. If you have any further dating questions, please leave me a comment down below. I think I want to do a video of really zero waste friendly dating ideas. Do you want that? Or really vegan friendly dating ideas? Do you want that? So comment down below if that is something you would be interested in seeing, because I would love to make that video. And hope you liked this one. If you did, leave me a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe to this channel, that would make my day. You can also go to Instagram and Facebook and my own domain, gitamary.com. See you guys in my next video, and take really good care of yourselves until then. Bye!